Alright everybody, I know some of you guys have been waiting for this video, and I have been waiting to bring it to you. I've been a little bit apprehensive, but the apprehension was a little bit, I had to just, sit down and figure out a little bit just to see exactly which route I wanted to go. So, with no further ado, wiring up the DA500. For you guys who haven't watched the other videos, please watch the other videos. The introduction to the DA500 Little Inspire. Great frame. Found it on banggood.com. $112. Decided to go with the GART 4108 motors. Went with 8 of them. Gonna build this an X8. Build this to be an X8. 13-inch props. Full carbon fiber chassis. We decided to go with the Taro ZYX-M multi-rotor flight controller with GPS. New on the market, so looking forward to things to come. So where we left off, the frame is all together, and I said I was going to show you how I was going to wire it up. But before we go further, I want to give you guys a few pointers. When building this frame, the last time you saw it built totally all together, and one of the things that I would recommend is before you totally build it together, take a look at the parts that you get. If you notice, we have upper and lower clamps on the frame, and you're going to use some longer screws that will go through one of the clamps and mate to the other clamp, and then you'll have a shorter screw just to hold the clamp onto the carbon fiber. So make sure that all your longer screws are on one side, so that you can actually take your frame apart in 2 pieces, like I can, if need be. The other thing I would recommend before you totally put your frame together like I did, I would say get your motors and run your wires through the carbon fiber tubing. It wasn't that hard because I use this trusty little tool right here, which is, as you can see, this is a old school metal coat hanger that I bent straight, and I made like a little V. So what I did was, since I had everything built together, I just took the frame apart at this point right here, loosened the 4-bolt, slid that on, so I had each arm extended, arm totally off the frame. Then I pushed the cable through, and then I took the trusty little tool and grabbed it by the bullet connector and pushed it all the way in. Now, I would recommend you do that without the bullet connectors, and I would say run all these wires through first before you put it all together. You could do it the way that I did. There is a little hole on the side right there that you could use to push your wiring in. But if you don't have the bullet connectors, it'll go through easy. If you have the bullet connectors on, you'll have to do a little shimmy job just to get it in, but it can be done. But I recommend, as I said, that you do it apart. Take it apart, or just put your motors on first, run your wires through, and then bolt the whole frame up together. It'll make it very easy for you in the long run. I'm very anti type of guy, a little impatient, so I tend to build things and then go back and redo them. But anyway, enough said. So we're looking at the frame here. As you can see, it's the bottom piece. I disconnected the bottom piece all as one because, as I said, I have all the longer bolts on the bottom for tightening these. There are 4 screws I'll show you that go on the bottom that clamp into the motor mount, so that it allows you to take it off in one piece. The shorter screws are actually on the bottom. So you could do shorter screws on the bottom, shorter screws on the top, but either way you take it, you'll be able to take out the whole frame. I'd say the way I did it, I have the shorter screws on the bottom. So you could do your shorter screws on the top, and this way you'd be able to take off the top plate instead of the bottom plate, but I did it like this. Cool, no learning experience. But as you can see, we have the Taro's LED light mounted on the bottom already, nice and light. As you look, you can see the Taro compass on the top, which is sitting on the plate that sits right above the Taro flight controller main board. Okay, as you notice, there's one wire coming out. The one thing that I didn't do for this video so far is plug in my L9R receiver yet, the FR Sky, because I'm just trying to figure out where I wanted to put it. I was going to put it inside the frame. I was going to put it, you know, pretty somewhere inside the frame, but I just might put it on the top, on the back, or, you know, because carbon fiber has a tendency of interrupting radio frequencies. So I just want to make sure I get a nice clean signal. So probably put it on the top, but when I'll turn it over, you'll see how I ran out of space. There's still space, but just a little less. As we look on the bottom here, you can see, let me zoom in a little bit so you can get a little bit better idea of what we're dealing with. Okay, so as you can see, I said that I was going to do, these are all the motor wires here. I'm just going to peel them back to the side. Everything is braided. Everything is also labeled for ease of hooking up, or if I ever have to change out a motor, I know which one I'm changing out. So if you look at the bottom of the frame, we have not one, but two Quattro 30 amp ×4 speed controllers. One front, one back. I did that for weight distribution. And also for neatness. I'm a stickler for neatness when it comes to wiring. I also have the Taro PMU that smack center in the middle for a distribution of 12 volts and 5 volts. So I'll be using that for the FPV camera and FPV transmitter that I'll eventually put on there. I also built a plug that went 2 into 1 to join those two, so I can make sure that I have a nice even connection. If you take a look, I also have the USB plug in the back. So you get the idea of, I'm a bit of a stickler for wiring, so I like nice, neat wiring. You know, it always looks nice. You know, see neat wiring and people go, wow, okay, this person probably put a lot of time into this. But you know what? Neat wiring makes good connections. Good connections make good copters, and it makes it a lot easier to use and troubleshoot if anything goes wrong. If you notice how the wires are run right into the edges, right into the edges of the carbon fiber tubing. First I was a little scared. I say, well, if it takes a nosedive, it's going to hit there first. But we don't fly scared. Hopefully there's a prop in the way, or who knows, I might build something crazy, you know, just to guard it. But for the most part, that's the way it's going to be, going right in like that. So as you can see, most of the wiring is done. I'm going to figure out where I'm going to mount that receiver, probably in the back. FPV board's going to go in. But yeah, it's coming along, and I know some of you guys are looking about, like, what is that thing on the side over there? Well, I threw that in the shot because I wanted you guys to, it was kind of like a little sneak peek of things to come within the next few days or the next week of a review I'll be doing on a long-awaited addition to my collection, which is a mini hexacopter. So looking at the Lisa MRC Beetle 300 Cicada. It's beautiful. This is the carbon fiber edition, full carbon fiber body. I have my 12 amp speed controllers on it. Everything's all wired up. Got my antenna sticking out back. I'm gonna put a Mobius on the front. L9R mounted upside down. Got the CC3D Atom sitting way inside there. But yeah, it's a beautiful frame. I'm really looking forward to doing a review on this. Just waiting for my props to come in. And I might change the motors. Right now I have some ZMR 1804 2400 kV motors. Might change them, might not, we'll see. I got some more GART coming in, some GART 1804s, so might change them out. I think I blew this one out, so yeah, I blew it out. So it's a little defective motor, so there's a review coming up on this pretty soon, so never fear. But anyway, back to this guy here. It is coming along quite nicely. After I get off this video, I'm probably gonna button it back up and put I did put some retracts on it that I got. I totally hated them. My girl said it looked like a chicken because it was a big fat copter with really skinny legs on it. Maybe I might order the 20mm carbon fiber retractable landing gear, or maybe not, but probably not. I'm probably going to go with the stock landing gear. It looks perfect. Maybe I might make a retractable camera mount. You don't know. You know, hey, just because it says Inspire doesn't mean it has to have a camera, retractable anything on it. It's Little Inspire. It's inspired by the Inspire. Let's just put it like that. So until the next video, stay tuned. That one's coming up soon. We're going to button this all up together. And we're going to bind. We're going to, oh yes, by the way, one wire, if I didn't mention it, it's S-bus connection. So we're going S-bus, one wire, all 9 channels. So stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll be happy to answer. Later.